Hello and welcome, guys. You have been gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I am proud to announce to the entire community here that we have reached, as a collective, over 5,000 subscribers, and I am super pumped about this actual achievement here because I feel like it's one of those milestones that it just really feels like all of a sudden you've gone from something that's kind of an idea to something that's pretty legit at this moment, and I kind of feel like we're on that crest of something a lot bigger. So you kind of come from an idea, and then it's like, we're being legit. And now, who knows what the future holds. And that's why I am super excited, because you guys have been absolutely awesome throughout this process. I'm coming up on 2 years here at the end of March, or midway through March. I'll actually have been doing gaming content for 2 years now, and it's been a pretty awesome ride. So I figured, rather than just do the really cheesy thing where I'm like, oh, thank you guys, because I really am, but I don't want to say it for 9 minutes straight because that would just get really annoying. I want to actually tell you guys about some of the stuff here I have learned about YouTube and kind of pass that along, because I know a lot of people that also watch this content are attempting to do their own YouTube channels on the side, and maybe you're just kind of interested about some of the things that I've learned. So I have a list here in front of me, which is just below the camera, but still farther away than I can reach. I mean, this is kind of like 3D. Woo! No, it's right there. So I figured I'd just share some of that stuff with you. And going on here in the background or somewhere is a bunch of lists of a lot of you guys. I've been able to use some search parameters to kind of narrow things down, only based on what YouTube has available to me. I would list every single subscriber if I could have access to them, but realistically I only have like the past 3 months and or the people who have many other subscribers, because it's kind of one of those research things to find other people that are doing YouTube. So I know not everybody's name's going to be there, but I'm doing my best. At any rate, so first and foremost, the thing that I have learned here on YouTube is probably the KISS theory, which is basically to keep it simple. And there's so many times that I feel like I have tried to overproduce something and then have that not work out, and you end up spending all this time, that I think that keep it simple is probably one of the main things you can do here on YouTube. YouTube is a place for you to be real, and that's what really connects with people here on YouTube. And you know, trying to be too professional and or having like a really profound, awesome script and all this kind of stuff, I mean, there's a place for that, but YouTube is kind of one of those mediums where it's a lean forward and you want to get to know the actual person you're watching. So being too polished can actually work against you. So I think keep it simple, and then the last S is probably short. So no longer than it needs to be, because people's attention spans happen to be a little bit shorter. But hey, you know what? There is some content, and it kind of depends on what you're doing. But if you're doing game content, probably keep it simple and as short as possible, depending on what your story is that you're trying to tell. But I'll get into that later on. Probably the biggest challenge, though, for me on YouTube is time management. I mean, personally, I work 40 hours a week, then you tack on 2 hours because you got to get ready in the morning, and then you got to come home and recover. So realistically, I may have about 3 hours in an evening to actually do that. And then at the same time, not denying your own friends, and at the same time also procuring time to do editing on gaming content, because there's so many times when you're just playing with people and you're recording at the same time, sometimes the conditions just aren't going to make for a good video, so you kind of got to let that go. But at the same time, you feel like you have to socially deny yourself a little bit, just in order to have enough time to make content for YouTube. And for the stuff I do, which is all edited, every single video you see is edited, about 3 videos a week is about what I can afford on my time. But it's something that you're going to have to learn, something that you're going to have to be aware of, that pretty much the amount of time you spend playing a game is probably going to be pretty equal to the amount of time you're going to be editing it. And then there's going to be some additional time of uploading and tagging and creating all those thumbnails and stuff like that. So it's a big time commitment, and if you are planning to play 10 hours a week, then you also got to think that it's going to take you 10 to 15 hours to produce that stuff. So it's all kind of an idea, and that's, you know, a very important thing to keep in mind, that you have to be diligent on your time management. The other thing that people are always really asking is, how do you get a channel started? And as you've seen on my channel, I'm pretty much known for Loadout. Now, personally, I don't think Loadout, or a game much like Loadout, is a good place to start a channel, just because there isn't a huge community here. However, you have to get known for something, and to basically get known for something, if you ever look at like a TV series, they're always going to have more than 10 episodes in a series, their initial series. It's usually pretty long. So I say do 10 or so videos of that and find out what kind of videos you enjoy making, because realistically, if it ends up kind of like Loadout for me, you're going to end up making about 90 of those videos, or even onto 100 of them. So you're going to have to like what you're doing. So definitely keep that in mind when you are selecting a game that you're really going to want to play and want to play for a long time, and then make at least 10 videos to get started off. And then so I say that is basically you get awareness at around 10 videos, and then once you get around 20 videos where you're really just doing this on a regular basis, week after week, you have expectations that people are starting to set for you, and they're expecting the next episode to come. And that's where the audience development really comes, and you start to get known for something, which is a lot easier than trying to just jump around and upload whatever kind of games you want to get the ball rolling type deal. So I say find something you really enjoy and, you know, make at least 10 videos for that, and that's probably the good way just to kind of kick off a channel. However, once you get bigger, you can kind of expand your horizons and try to get known for more than one thing, which is kind of what I'm trying to do here with Kerbal Space Program. That'd be great. I love the game. At any rate, the other thing is I have learned a lot of how to edit videos and how to actually shoot videos. I've also have a side thing here with my camera, as you can see right there, where I have basically learned some photography skills and how to kind of piece together videos. And once you do enough editing, to me, I have actually moved into a position in my current job now to where we have videos that we shoot for work. So I actually have camera people that I assign, and I give them different gear, and then I set up their lenses, and I kind of direct the whole thing, and that's pretty cool. Sorry, I bumped the mic right there. That's pretty cool. It's turned out for me something that editing videos isn't just stuff I do for YouTube now. It's actually stuff I get paid to do at work, which is pretty cool. Although I can't share it with you because it's all private stuff, and that's work stuff, and this is YouTube stuff, and I know a lot better than to combine the two. At any rate, it's pretty cool. It does actually turn into a useful skill, and I've learned how to edit, so I know the Adobe stuff, and I also know the Sony stuff. So you guys might be wondering what in the world I actually use to edit my videos. Do I use the Adobe software? Well, at work, that's what I use. I use the Adobe suite, but at home, what I end up using here is the Sony Movie Studio Platinum, and I think this is an absolutely awesome package, especially for getting started, and I think it'll pretty much do anything you need it to do as far as gaming content goes. There's really no point in going to Sony Vegas, but hey, you can also find that. I found my package from Newegg for $40, and then it comes with a bunch of extra stuff that I pretty much never use. At any rate though, that is a great editing software to get started with, and you know, like I said, it can turn into a useful skill that can lead to a job later on. Another thing that I have learned, if you go back and watch some of my older videos, is how to actually commentate on a video. And actually commentating and voiceover happen to be two separate things. Commentating is one of those things that you're doing off the cuff, like I'm doing right now, as far as actually forming sentences that are not really planned ahead. You just have bullet points that you make up and you let it fly, and you get better at actually using your voice and using the microphone in front of you to actually create a conversation and a topic there. So when you actually watch sports commentators, they have different statistics, and those are little bullet points that come in, but the rest of it is just kind of an off-the-cuff skill, whereas voiceover tends to be a little bit more planned out, and you tend to be a little bit more polished with your voice, and those are all, again, useful skills, and that kind of skill only really develops with experience and time. So I think it's pretty awesome, and it's kind of interesting to see how voiceover and stuff like that is coming together, and how I might end up talking in certain ways. There was actually a time when I was back on older videos where I would talk out of the side of my mouth, right? And this was to make a certain sound with my voice, but people thought I had some sort of like mental disease, which was not a very nice comment to people. But they saw the actual face cam, and then I started to realize that even though I want to try to use different voices to my advantage just to have fun with it and jump into different characters as I'm actually playing this stuff, I have to be aware that what people are seeing as well. So I don't know, that's an interesting thing I've learned, and I've gotten a lot better at commentating, and I think that's pretty cool. Again, that's stuff that has turned into stuff that I actually use professionally now, which is awesome. Now, aside from all that stuff, things that I want to get a lot better at doing here in the 2015, which is the actual year it is right now, I kind of forgot there for a second, was how to tell a story. I like to edit my videos in such a way of kind of a discovery, and I think I do an okay job with that. However, I was recently watching a movie. It was actually The Maze Runner, which I thought was pretty good for what it was. And then actually I turned around and watched the whole movie again, but this time with the director's commentary over it. And I got a lot of new insights about how they're actually telling a story. And I want to see if I can start to apply that stuff to my channel. I know I've done a little bit of Let's Play stuff. I should say that I've actually done quite a bit of Let's Play stuff on my channel. But those videos are always really kind of hard to build much of a following with. Not a lot of people like to watch Let's Plays, even though I do edit the whole thing. And I think that's because it's kind of hard to pull people into the story. I find myself really benefiting from being pulled into the character of the story and having a lot more fun playing a game when I'm actually recording a Let's Play. However, I have a hard time of communicating that back and forth just because every episode tends to be about 20-30 minutes long. And it's kind of got me thinking, how can I better tell a story with what's going on here? And I want to get better at that before I go back to doing, Let's Play stuff. If I ever do. I don't know. It's a lot of time commitment, but I think there's opportunity, and I want to get better at doing that. So that's one of my goals here for 2015. Another thing that I actually want to achieve here in the year 2015 as we move beyond this 5,000 subscriber limit is, how do I not hide behind videos? And by that, I mean, there are times where I think I should really be vlogging a lot more, but I don't. I use the excuse that I have to create new content and I have to make 3 videos a week, and then I kind of put off doing vlogs or put off doing live streams. And I think I need to get better at realizing that it's not so much the content that I'm making, but the connection that I'm making with you guys that is really what people are here and come to see a lot more of. I mean, there are people that are going to watch Loadout content because they're enjoyed Loadout stuff and they like that stuff. But I'm talking about basically the 10% of this channel, the 500 of you guys that just seem to show up for every video, not necessarily every video, but that tend to show up all the time. Better connecting with that community, and that's one of my goals here for 2015 and moving forward. But what I want to say again is, since I am running out of time here, that I really, really appreciate what you guys have done here for my channel. However many of you guys are subscribing, those of you that are sharing this with friends, and how things are growing here. I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited to see where it's going. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace. Brothgar out.